What's up everyone, welcome back to ARTV. We're stabbing our way into a new review with the 5th studio album by the metalcore, post-hardcore, and heavy metal band Ice Nine Kills. Today, I'm reviewing album number 5 from them, The Silver Scream, just in time for Halloween. Ice Nine Kills formed in 2002, and despite a lot of lineup changes over the years, they've remained pretty consistent with a loyal fan base. Even though it's not a huge one, it's still something that's kept them going over time. They're currently signed to Fearless Records, and even though I haven't really covered them in the past, I started getting into them after the release of their album Every Trick in the Book. I love the fact that they pulled from literature, and they wrote songs based on other people's material, but they also didn't make it feel cheap. And while I didn't get into that album until probably at least a year and a half after it came out, I grew a new respect for them after it. I can't say that I enjoy a ton of their early stuff, and they've had the lineup changes like I said, but I like the fact that they've kind of smoothed it out, and that shows because former member Jeremy Schwartz is featured on the track Rock the Boat on this very album. The Silver Scream once again uses other source material to make songs, and this time around, the inspiration was horror franchises. And that's an amazing source material. As a horror aficionado, not really, I just like horror movies myself, I find this to be very intriguing. So, did they pull it off? Well, I absolutely think they nailed it on this new album. The Silver Scream takes inspiration from every film like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, to Friday the 13th, to It, to all these other horror movies, and they really just do it justice by making very heavy songs, but also melodic ones, and ones that are written from a lot of different points of view, whether it be the killer or the victim. Lead singer Spencer Charnas has an amazing voice, and I do feel like while his screams are awesome, I also really like to dive deeper and enjoy the clean material too, because you look to songs like opening track The American Nightmare, or even A Grave Mistake, you can see how catchy and charismatic his voice is. In fact, it reminds me a lot of the lead singer of Nothing More. Co-lead vocalist and lead guitarist Justin DeBliek is doing a great job of stepping up to the plate on The Silver Scream. Not to say that he's been bad or abysmal by any means in the past, that's not the case. I just feel like on The Silver Scream, he's really bringing those backing vocals and his own presence here. And especially with the guitars, they can go from throttling and beating you over the head practically with how heavy they are to a little bit more melodic. And I also truly appreciate that about Spencer's vocals. Basically what I'm getting at is while this album is very heavy and very crushing overall, there's also some other elements that you're going to want to dig into, even if you're not a fan of the heaviest music out there. I'm very happy to hear that they've taken inspiration from movies like A Nightmare on Elm Street, It, Saw, An American Werewolf in London, all of those films, and they've written from different perspectives. They don't always just come at it from one angle, and it doesn't feel like they're just doing it to do it. It feels like the band has a genuine passion and interest in the source material. The breakdowns are intense and don't just exist for the sake of having a breakdown like I feel so many metalcore bands do. In fact, these are sometimes song-altering and show-stealing, as the breakdown can feel so intense and so vital to the project that it just makes the album in general. There's obviously great clean moments here too that I absolutely love and find very catchy, and the instrumentation in general is just great. There's a lot of lavish cuts that you can really sink your teeth into, whether it be the drumming, the double bass pedals that you hear on some of these tracks, the great guitar work that definitely shows them honing their craft, and just in general the vocals being fantastic. I don't have a ton of complaints here. There's a few tracks where I feel like they kind of sidestep or maybe don't do enough to make the source material work for the horror movie that they're on, but for the most part, that really doesn't happen, and it shows in the spirit of the overall album, The Silver Scream. Merry Xmas is the song that I'll start on. It's a very heavy cut from this record, and it's based on Silent Night, Deadly Night, and if you know anything about that film, it's where a kid has a traumatic experience early on, and he ends up going on a killing spree in a Santa suit. And this song, oh man, it definitely matches the intensity. The guitars are throttling at times. They're almost a little bit ear-piercing in the sense that you're just losing yourself in this moment, and I feel like this is one of those tracks that you would really want to see live. They truly did justice justice on the song A Grave Mistake, which is based on The Crow, which is an amazing film. It definitely has cult status at this point. If you don't know, an actor, in fact the main actor, died during the filming of that movie. And I just feel like this in general captures not only that essence, but also the essence of The Crow. It has such a spirited chorus that feels catchy, but also like it's dramatic and it's building tension. And that's exactly what Ice Nine Kills needed to do on a project like this. Stabbing in the Dark is based on Halloween and really hits home that message of Halloween and Michael Myers. The way that they incorporate the sound bites and they're talking about the fact that the killer is on the loose, you feel that tension, you feel that suspense, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat like it's entertaining you just like a movie would. The American Nightmare does that as well, and it does it to possibly even better effects. It's so catchy and downright captivating. As you listen to a song like this, you truly get hypnotized by the guitars and just Spencer's vocals on this track. The way that he's storming through, it looks like the album cover would remind you that it should. It's stabbing through the silver screen and cutting into the listener's ears. Truly never thought that I'd hear someone singing as Pennywise the Dancing Clown, but we have the final cut, It Is the End, with some very special guests, and this song truly hits it home. I think it's one of the best songs on the entire project, and this one works so well, not only because of the heaviness, but because of that tantalizing perspective of it. Is it the spider? What form is it going to take? And as the track keeps progressing, we just hear this haunting passage, and I love the energy that they've captured on this song. Things do get a little bit generic, unfortunately, on Savages, which was inspired by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and also Freak Flag, which was inspired by the Devil's Rejects. I don't find either of those to be particularly bad, but I just don't feel like they stand out, and they feel a little bit more like a typical metalcore type song. I really do love almost all of this record, from Rocking the Boat, the Jaws-inspired track with former member Jeremy Schwartz, which is just awesome, to the opening moment that's so catchy, The American Nightmare, to the closing track, It Is the End. There's goodness sprinkled all throughout, and if you're a horror fan at all, or if you like heavy music, if you like melodic hardcore, then please check out this new Ice Nine Kills. For me, overall on their new record, The Silver Scream, I am giving this a strong 4 out of 5. I do hope that you'll check it out. There's a link down below to stream it. Make sure to drop a like on this review. If you want to see me cover more albums like this in the future, drop a comment down below with your thoughts and opinions on the new release and Ice Nine Kills in general. And if you're new in town, then please hit that subscribe button. Hey, if you like what I'm creating on both of my channels, then please click the top link down below or else the annotation in the corner to support me monthly on Patreon. If you want to see another heavy review, then tap right over here, or another recent video I made on the channel right over here. All of my social media accounts, including Twitch, can be found linked down below. And other than that, I'll see you soon for more right here on ARTV.